What is up, future millionaires of the world? My name is Roman, aka Bizwiz, and I know there's a lot of crazy things going on in the politics scene right now. I feel like it's not my duty to really talk about these topics and cover them, so I will be talking more about business relevant topics such as this. And first things first, if you guys don't know, Trump and Carney have been kind of going crazy, running at each other for a while now. If you don't know, Carney basically used Trump and hating on Trump to push his campaign over basically a double-digit loss in his political factor, which he was able to bolster over the Conservative Party in Canada, actually. And if you don't know, because of this, Justin Trudeau stepped down, and then Carney had a low chance of winning. But because he basically doubled down on hating on Trump, because Trump was talking about basically not needing Canada with the whole tariff thing going on and everything, people rallied around patriotism in Canada and so forth. Carney became president, or stayed president, because technically he was substituted in and then stayed elected. So without further ado, let me just catch you up on what's been going on now recently with the tariffs and the talks in town. Right now, we have what I'd like to call a kind of a standoff. There's been talks of tariffs here, tariff that. Basically, from what I understand, it's about a 35% tariff being inflicted on America from Canada, and Canada exports more goods to the US than it gets imported from. But at the same time, Canada's population is also 1/10 of America, and they kind of need America more than America needs Canada, in my opinion. If you guys would like to comment about that and explain your propositions, feel free to discuss in the comments below. But that is just my personal opinion. And with all the tariffs going on, basically Trump is putting a 25% tariff on Canada with like a 50% one as well on things like aluminum. And it seems like we're gonna have a huge tariff war with Canada because of the dateline that Trump set on August 1st. We are about 3 to 5 days, depending on when you see this video, off of when that ticking time bomb sets off. And from there, we'll see how things go. But it really does seem like things are going to take a bit of a rough turn with the tariffs. And like I said, about 2 months ago, I was making videos about the tariffs and how he put a 90-day pause on them.
I think you're going to remember today, it's going to be a free nation that we're dealing with. We're going to have a very free and beautiful nation.
And it seems like other things are popping up from the tariff trades, which I'd like to talk about in other videos, such as the Philippines possibly paying a 19 to 20% tariff fee on products importing into America. And if I'm gonna be honest, I really think with the cost of living in Canada being more and their money being worth less than the US dollar, these other factors not including, and I understand they probably send more power into America than America sends power into Canada. But I really think Canada is going to be losing out on this whole debacle when it comes to arguing with Trump and Canada and America. When it comes to arguing, I think Canada is going to lose out on this fiasco when it comes to Mr. Carney arguing with Trump. And they did have their face-to-face meet-off, which I will play real quick here.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Mark Carney with us. As you know, just a few days ago, he won a very big election in Canada. And I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't take vote credit. His party was losing by a lot, and he ended up winning. So I really want to congratulate him. It was probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of politics, maybe even greater than mine. You know? But I want to just congratulate you. That was a great election, actually. We were watching it with interest, and I think Canada chose a very talented person, a very good person, because we spoke before the election quite a few times. And it's an honor to have you at the White House and the Oval Office. And you see the new and improved Oval Office as it becomes more and more beautiful with love. You know, we handle it with great love and 24-karat gold. That always helps too, right? But it's been a lot of fun. We're going over some of the beautiful pictures that were stored in the vaults that were for many, many years, in some cases over 100 years. They were stored in vaults of the great presidents, or almost great presidents, all all having a reason for being up, every one of them. So it's very interesting. But I just want to congratulate you, and ran a really great race. I watched the debate. I thought you were excellent, and I think we have a lot of things in common. We have some tough points to go over, and that'll be fine. We're going to also be discussing Ukraine, Russia, the war, because Mark wants it ended as quickly as I do. I think it has to end. We had some very good news last night. The Houthis have announced that they are not, or they've announced to us at least, that they don't want to fight anymore. They just don't want to fight. And we will honor that. And we will stop the bombings. And they have capitulated, but more importantly, we will take their word. They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore. And that's what the purpose of what we were doing. So that's just news. We just found out about that. So I think that's very, very positive. They were knocking out a lot of ships going, as you know, sailing beautifully down the various seas. It wasn't just the canal. It was a lot of other places. And I will accept their word, and we are going to stop the bombing of the Houthis. Effective immediately, and Marco, you'll let everybody know that, okay? Do you have something to say about that, by the way? It's a pretty big announcement.
Yeah, this was always a freedom of navigation mission. These guys, these are, a band of individuals with advanced weaponry that were threatening global shipping, and the job was to get that to stop. And if it's going to stop, then we can stop. And I think it's an important development.
And I just think it's kind of interesting to see the whole thing going on. And I'm gonna be honest, I think more or less, I think it'd be better for both parties to be able to conclude and be able to come to a mutual understanding instead of just sending tariffs on each other. China and America were able to figure out a way to kind of coexist without 145% tariffs. Okay, I know the tariffs aren't at that level yet with Canada, but it's kind of crazy to see us arguing with our neighboring countries. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it would last long if there was kind of like a shortage or an outcry from Canada about unfair tariffs from America. I think America is way farther superior in the trade aspect and everything. And don't get me wrong, I think it's good that Carney is talking about trying to do imports with other countries, other foreign nations, and try to see his options from there. Nothing wrong with that, completely understand. But Canada is kind of sold off from the world. The United States has a lot more product and imports and exports a lot into Canada because they're so close. And if you were going to import and export other products from these other countries into Canada or outside of Canada, then you would have to pay these huge shipping fees, costs, and other tariffs and other debacles with other nations, other foreign nations, other problems. You run into a lot of other things. And I just think it just makes a lot more sense if we were able to keep the peace, with their border being right next to ours. Now, I thought it was funny to mention that not even 1%, 0.2%, which is basically like 0.1% of all fentanyl comes from Canada into America, which I think is hilarious. I don't even know why this is a stat that's brought up. But since Trump was talking about going in the drug war with Mexico, and that's why these tariffs are being brought up. And I guess tariffs being brought up with Mexico and Canada and actually the whole world, I just thought it was a fun stat to bring up because basically it's 0.2% coming in from Canada and then 99% coming from Mexico. I don't know, guys. I've never tried Fent. If you have, let me know in the comments below. But once again, I just think it's very important that we circle back that, hey, we should all be trying to be in this together, work as a dream team, not trying to fight against each other, but people see different. And I really do hope for the best with everything that's to come, because from my personal opinion, I had a lot more hope going into this thing at this moment. It really does seem like some shit's gonna hit the fan, if I'm being completely honest. And as someone that has a shift tomorrow after working from 11, what was that? I woke up at 8 this morning and got off at 7. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. It's 1 a.m. right now recording this video. And that's how I'm gonna wrap this up. If you guys would like to see your predictions or leave your predictions about your perspective in the comments below. Is this completely over for America? Is Canada the next one to get fried? Or is America and Trump gonna get heavy pushback from everyone and things are not gonna go well for the US? Let me know in the comments below. My name is Roman, aka Young Business, and thank you so much for watching this video. Have an awesome day. Take care. Peace.